Welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, to another Barca news roundup today, and we do have two big stories to discuss surrounding Antoine Griezmann and Matias De Ligt today. Now, I did originally say that I didn't want to keep going over the same rumours day in, day out, of course, like we see many of the time in the media, but in this video and in today's news, I do believe we have some new information on both players, some big news, and that's how I wanted to bring it to you today in the news roundup. So all of that and some more as well, it's coming up for you. Let's do this! And so starting first and foremost with the big news surrounding Antoine Griezmann, and it was big news that came out last night from Miguel Angel Gil-Marin, who is the Atlético Madrid CEO. As big as it gets at Atletico, almost as official as it gets, he came out and said the following: I have been very clear about where Antoine Griezmann is going to play. He said, I've known this for a while. It's been known since back in March. He will go to Barcelona this summer. Miguel Angel Gil-Marin came out yesterday. He said those words in an official interview there with Movie Star in Spain. It is all but official now that Antoine Griezmann will be coming to Barcelona this summer. He is going to be a Barca player, and that there is as good as official confirmation. And I really do believe that, because obviously with Antoine Griezmann last summer, it was extremely murky. It was a bad situation. We got ourselves caught up in a big saga, and it really didn't end up going our way. He stayed in Atletico Madrid, and it's been difficult, I think, to bounce back from that. Off the field, I still don't feel 100% comfortable with us going back in for Griezmann after what went down last summer, but at the same time, on the pitch, you have to see, we spoke about it yesterday in the video, about how Barcelona can really rise back to the top. Griezmann could be very key in that, coming off the left-hand side, providing a different option up front, being more flexible, being more mobile. That's the big thing here. Griezmann, a lot of pace, good quality in front of goal, a good finisher, a man there with good experience at the top level, and that could become official, as we said before, on July the 1st, when Antoine Griezmann's release clause drops to 120 million euros. That then appears to be when we'll officially announce it, but Griezmann all but signed right now for Barcelona. However, in terms of Ajax's Matias De Ligt, things are certainly a lot more complicated right now, and there have been big complications in the past few days with Paris Saint-Germain not only entering the fray, not only joining Barcelona in the bidding, but it's believed right now PSG are slightly ahead. They're slightly ahead in the race here for Matias De Ligt. They're offering huge wages, almost double apparently what Barcelona could be offering this summer. And according to De Telegraaf, who are by far one of the most reliable sources in the Netherlands for Dutch players, for Dutch clubs, they know what's going on with their own people there in Holland. And certainly De Telegraaf this morning have come out with a big article, a big spread there on Matias De Ligt and what's going on right now. And they say PSG are currently, as it stands, the favourites. They say that yesterday Mino Raiola was in Paris. He's been in Paris over the past few days negotiating the transfer with Henrique, who's actually the PSG director of football there. Apparently De Ligt's girlfriend and his mother-in-law were also spotted in Paris last weekend, apparently looking for a house. But at the same time, De Telegraaf do say here, the door is not shut. This is not a done deal. Raiola was in Paris, but he was only negotiating with PSG. And I'd wager there right now that PSG would give Raiola whatever he wanted. They'd also give De Ligt whatever he wanted, but what they don't have right now is the agreement of the player himself. Still, Matias De Ligt has not decided to join PSG. This is not a done deal right now, because, contrary to reports, a journalist came out yesterday, he had a picture with Raiola, apparently he claimed to be somebody who is in the know. He said the deal is done. I just spoke to Raiola and here is the confirmation. A picture of me, De Ligt to PSG, is now done. But Raiola himself then came out later on in the day and said, look, this is a classic example of fake news in the media. And the picture, I didn't even know who this guy was. He asked for a picture. I took it with him. I'd never spoken to him in my life about anything. So clearly there, Raiola denying the deal has been done, denying the agreement there has been reached. But at the same time, PSG right now are a major threat. However, the one part of all this that does feel very familiar is the fact that PSG here are coming in with a massive offer. They can certainly pay whatever the client wants, whatever the agent wants, whatever the club wants. We know they have the funds, we know they have the money to make things happen. But at the same time, exactly the same thing happened with Frenkie de Jong. PSG came in, they offered him the world, they offered him whatever he wanted to have. He could have gone there and accepted that offer, but at the same time, Barcelona then came back in, they improved their terms, they improved their offer to Frenkie de Jong, not to match match PSG, but just really to show our commitment to him. And then he said, look, of course, I'm joining Barcelona. And the same thing could happen here. Yes, right now, PSG are certainly in the driving seat. They are leading the negotiations. They've offered way, way beyond what Barcelona can right now. But according to reports in Spain, Barcelona this week will enter negotiations once again. They will come back with what the local media are reporting as Barcelona's final offer. We are reportedly preparing something right now to come back in and say, look, this is the best we can do. You've got your offer from PSG. We know it's an attractive offer, but at the same time, this is what we've got. And to be honest, guys, I think we're all thinking one way or another, let's just end this now. Let's give our offer. Let's give the absolute best that we can. So De Ligt then can go away. He's on his holidays now. He's still deciding. It's very, very important here to say that he still hasn't made his mind up on the club right now. But let's just put everything on the table. PSG have got the massive money. There's massive money as well from the Premier League with Manchester United. Barcelona are putting in a good offer, and let's just make him make a decision. Let's have it now on the table, all the cards laid out, and hopefully, really do hoping that soon we can hear some news and hear a final decision. I also do want to bring you news, guys, on some outgoings at Barcelona. We're still working hard to generate some sales this summer, and one player that will certainly be on his way out is Denis Suarez. He appeared in an interview with Cadena Ser, and he also confirmed that he does want to leave Barcelona this summer, and he did say, though, I do want to remain in the Champions League. I want to join a club who can play in the Champions League, and certainly Valencia are a genuine option right now for Denis Suarez. He came out and said Valencia are showing real interest in me. Denis Suarez also spoke out quite openly about his relationship and his working partnership with Marcelino. He said, Marcelino is the best coach that I have ever had. I speak with him regularly, and certainly there, I think Denis would warmly welcome working with Marcelino once again. He played under him, of course, at Villarreal in the 2015-16 season, and I think actually there, that was Denis Suarez's best season as a professional footballer. He was really good. He was really consistent. He was playing week in, week out. He played often, actually, as a left midfielder in a 4-4-2 formation, and I think under Marcelino, he could certainly do some good things at Valencia. And I think right now, 25 years old, his career, of course, has been at a standstill now for a few years. He's not got regular game time. He's suffered with injuries. That can happen, of course, when you're not playing, when you're not having a consistent flow, when you're not in the team every single week. It begins to get quite disjointed. I think Denis now needs a permanent move. He needs to get himself a club where he feels wanted, where he feels valued, because I still do believe there's certainly talent in there, and he could well join Valencia this summer under the stewardship of Marcelino. We're reportedly looking for an offer between 15 to 25 million euros, but I feel like maybe there we could agree to something around about the middle of that, 18 to 20 million. That might be our mark. And just finally, guys, I want to bring you personally my opinion. I've spoken about this, of course, quite recently, so I don't want it to seem as though I'm banging on about it, but I just had some thoughts yesterday on the Ballon d'Or, because obviously in previous videos I said that Messi deserves to win the award, but I was just thinking last night, and I was having some thoughts about this. You know, you've heard about Virgil van Dijk apparently being in pole position now to win the Ballon d'Or after his Champions League win. You've also heard more recently about Cristiano Ronaldo after he won the Nations League, that he could actually win the Ballon d'Or at the end of the year. But I want to say this right here and now, and this is my theory right now on the Ballon d'Or. You look at the stats, you look at the performances, you look at individual quality, which let's not forget here, that is literally the point of the Ballon d'Or. The best individual player in world football, and all of those things, the best quality, it's Messi. Lionel Andres Messi is the best footballer in the world when it comes to individual brilliance, individual quality. He is the best. Because you ask anybody who impartially watches football and can see all of the games and watches all of Messi, all of Van Dijk, all of Ronaldo, you will come out and say Messi is the best. But you know the funny thing right now, and what I was thinking yesterday, usually with the best player, you would need everybody else there to do something unbelievable to ensure the best player doesn't win the award. But actually, it's Messi, the best player, who still is believed that he has to do everything to actually win this award. Not only is he the best player, but he's also expected to win a treble, to win the Champions League, to win all of the titles, just to guarantee himself the best individual award. How does that work? Surely it should be the other way around. Messi is the best player. That's the point of the award. Surely then it should mean the other players have to do something absolutely extraordinary to win the best award. Players like Van Dijk, Ronaldo, incredible players, but they are not the best players in the world. Surely they're the ones there, if they're not the best, if they're not the best in terms of individual quality, which is the point of the award. And that's why for me, had Virgil van Dijk also won the Premier League with Liverpool along with the Champions League, then you'd certainly certainly putting his name in the hat because he'd achieved something impossible, and that certainly deserves recognition. And likewise with Ronaldo, if he'd won the Champions League there at Juventus along with the Serie A title, certainly then his name would be in the hat. He would have done something incredible to put him up there on the same level as Messi. But without those trophies, without those incredible achievements to go with the Champions League, to go with Serie A, it doesn't work for me. Those two players are simply not the best. It's as simple as that. And that's why Ronaldo right now, he's actually coming out pretending here that he's won the treble. He genuinely is. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. He came out here and said 2 + 1 = treble. What he was speaking about here is Scudetto, the Italian Serie A title. He was also talking about the Italian Super Cup and also there the UEFA Nations League. How many of those trophies there are actually relevant? I would just say Serie A. And it's as simple as that. That there, Cristiano, is not a treble. You have been denied. And for me, Messi, the best individual, if anybody wants to match him, if anybody wants to go above and beyond, they should have to achieve the impossible, not Messi. Messi is already the best. He doesn't then need to win a treble just to guarantee himself the best individual trophy. And that's why right now, with the Ballon d'Or, with these individual awards, I think their priorities right now, they're all wrong. So that was just something there, guys, I wanted to get off my chest, along with some news on Griezmann, De Ligt and Denis Suarez. Please, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on everything that I've discussed in today's video. What do you think about Griezmann? What do you think of that imminent signing, De Ligt situation, Denis Suarez and Valencia? And of course there, my little rant and my discussion on the Ballon d'Or. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you soon, of course. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça.